Greetings. Am I alone tonight in the studio?
Greetings, we are live.
Greetings, greetings.
Greetings.
Yes, yes, indeed, we are alive. Alive and well, we're alive and kicking. It's the Sunday evening. It's family time. But it seems to be a kind of lonely family time. I want to just say, where's everybody? But for who are here, I want to welcome my engineer, very helpful within this time. This is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Woman Auxiliary Local 26 with your host, Sadie Gomez, coming to you live and live on this Sunday evening. Sunday evening, family evening, but you know what we do across here. What we like to do, we like to see what's under the rug. We're going to pull it out for a minute, examine it, and sometimes we put it back. There's so much happening. I really would have liked to have more pleasant, laughing times, but really, it's a different kind of atmosphere right now for a lot of people as far as the sanctuary cities go that were protecting certain illegal migrants. That kind of protection is no longer there. So there's a certain atmosphere that we are seeing now, whether for good or bad. Let's just say for 3 straight days, there was no shooting in Brooklyn, or rather, nobody got killed. It happened to be in the news break or something like that. So we're wondering, yeah, what happened? So it seems that we are waiting now for the rest of the Sunday guests to join us, my really wonderful and intelligent studio audience, to discuss the topics at hand. We do have on the
Yeah,
forefront,
we need to send the link to you. Let me see, because
okay, I'm hearing voices, I'm hearing voices. Let's be waiting for the rest to join us so we can really discuss our today's
right.
topic,
Okay,
which
wow.
will be on a casual note. We ask, where is Michelle Obama? You know, it's something to give us a little bit of conversation, possibly gossip, but we put it right back under the rug from when we take it. And secondly, we like to, well, I don't want to say examine because executive orders were done by the president, and that's just like at a stroke of a pen. There were many, I want to say multiple signings were done. Some are pleasing to the people, some are not so pleasing. If we should think about it and where we stand as a nation, as a people, or even just, let's just say, how it's going to affect the black race. We understand at some point it just comes down to the color of your skin, whether we like to accept it, yes or no. That's often the case of what happens when we see changes are made. We have to oftentimes wonder where we fit in this whole thing, how it's going to affect us, what can we profit from the whole thing. Not all changes are bad changes. Changes, however, affect us simply because it's new, it's different. But sometimes we know, oftentimes, even the history of things, we came ready to accept change, although it was not one we planned for. But let's just get some historical facts. Let's think of, I was watching a video and I really had to laugh. The high heel shoes. High heel shoes were first invented for men to keep, you know, like the insects off their feet while you're riding the horses or something like that. But when you break it down to present time now, high heel shoes are really for women with pretty legs. So look at that change. At one point in time, even makeup was exclusively for men, especially the Asian men. And of course, we have to add in Ethiopia as well because, men wore makeup at that time. But it wasn't for a purpose of vanity, but a purpose of a religious sort of purpose, really. So we see a case where Queen Victoria said she had enough of it. Makeup is now exclusively for women. So we are seeing changes, some of which we would not like because it's new, it's different. But let's look at the changes and see what we can do to profit from these changes, benefit from these changes, or even change the way we think as a people, change our mindset. When it's intended for evil, the Lord can really make it into good. So we as a people, we watch that some of us will be staying in this country, some others as well will be deported because it's going to hit every sector of people. It starts with the criminals, it went down to whatever, but soon it's going to come down simply to who is not supposed to be here, and this will bring on certain changes. But even as we observe these changes, it's a period of time we have to live with. We have to enjoy whatever is there. And when we think of our mindset and we think of how fast we want to look towards Africa, the motherland, we think of how fast we want to just get involved in something else, that's really okay too, because nothing lasts forever and it can't. So we examine where we are presently. We're in this country. We have been longing and asking and begging for each other to unite. And maybe, just maybe, this forced feeling that we're having now, maybe it will cause us to unite. Something that seems so dark, so devious, and yet it could be a little light, just a little light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing remains the same, the best thing. And these we establish our mindset to have to change. We have to be a more unified people. We have to look and focus the things that are really important to us. And there's no need to shy away from the fact that the motherland will welcome us with open arms. Also, there are things that we need to do as well in the motherland for those of us who have got of the side of the world. We know we can go and teach on the other side, build and grow. Things are looking really, really good, shaping up for the future of Africa. And as I said last show, I'm so really glad that Ghana is close to Burkina Faso. This is really good news since we are promised a gifted portion of land that we know we can utilize. And
Mm-hmm. You're in it, huh? I think so. Wow.
Looks like our host is having a little technical difficulties, but I think that she is back. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, yeah, maybe so.
I just thought they say, are you bringing me now?
Yes, you're in.
I am here. Let me in.
You're in.
I'm in.
When I'm you.
I can see.
Yes, you are in.
Yes. Can you all hear me? I'm I'm backstage. Hi.
I can hear you clearly.
I'm backstage. This is me, can't get in.
I can hear you clearly, and I just lost your picture.
All right. Until she comes back, maybe we can keep the conversation going. The host was talking about some of the things that are going on now in the administration with our new president and some of the things that are happening down, some of the things that have been changed, some of the drastic changes that have taken place in the last 72 hours. So I know that she was talking about sharing that information with everyone. Looks like she's got having difficulties. All right, looks like her camera is back, and let's see if we can get her back onto the stage.
I'm having a really messy.
All right, you're back.
Okay, you're back. I can see you.
I am here trying to get in. I don't know why my internet is behaving like that, or my phone data. I don't know.
I will also say, First Vice, we cannot see you. It's a dark screen. So we need for you to get someplace where there's some light so that we can see. I see a T-shirt. We need more than a T-shirt and some teeth on the screen. All right. Look like we're still having a little problem with our host. Look like she's trying to sign in.
I'm backstage trying to get in. Okay, I'm in now. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna welcome my guest who's here this time. I don't know what's going on my phone or the service or whatever, but I want to welcome my guest who's here. Peter Morris.
Blessed love, enough love and respect to each and everyone.
Welcome.
How bless.
Here with us.
The topic. What's okay? The topic.
Anybody talk? Just might sort of board light up a bit. I don't know what's happening, but this is our evening, our family evening, Sunday evening, with the Woman Auxiliary and your host, Sadie Gomez. I seem to be dropping off, and I said the last time I made the alien joke, this thing seemed to manifest every Sunday. I don't know what's wrong or what's right. So, who else is here with us as well this evening?
You better leave those aliens alone.
We just hanging out, the three of us. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yes, Dr. Robinson is coming in.
What should I say? Shiloh? I know you said you gave out the link to some other people.
Yeah, I did. Marlon, I think Marlon is listening into it. He doesn't really ready to show his face yet.
we have backstage Ross Marlon, and we have Becky backstage.
Yes, Marlon. That's Marlon. Yes. The subject.
I'm getting a little bit of scratchy reception.
The subject of the matter. The Almighty says in the latter days, every tree will have to find their fig, or a fig have to find their tree. So we must not wait until people chase us home. We should head home because it's a reality check, Definitely. Where is your tree as a fig? Where is your tree as a fig? If I'm a fig, I have to find my tree. So my fig tree is in Africa. So I ain't waiting on no guy to run me out of their place. I got to find my place. You understand? God? These are the judgment days.
Wow. And I'm not even hearing you so clearly because I don't know if it's just my phone. Dr. Winborn, are you hearing First Vice clear?
Yes, I'm hearing him very clear. It may just be your phone.
Am I in clear?
He's coming through clearly. Ronnie, Welcome
I
to the
can hear
show,
you clearly.
Big Brother Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the alien seems to be giving you a problem. Empress.
I don't
Okay.
know if it's my phone, but Shiloh, are you coming through clear with other people? Is hearing you clearly?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, they say they can hear me, so it's your network is giving a problem. I think so.
I'm a little challenged with my reception,
Hear
and I don't
everybody.
know why.
You can hear everybody. I hear
Mhm.
everybody. I even hear
Oh,
you. But
okay.
Empress Gomez, you are seem to have a problem with your phone. Is going out and it's blurry. So it seems like you got a bad signal.
Yeah.
We want to welcome the one and only, the great Right Reverend Ron Ronnie L. Robinson to the
Now,
stage.
now, now, you
Yeah,
know
don't
I
get it
can't.
confused.
Now,
Don't get it confused.
you know I can't afford all of that talk. It's too much. I ain't got no money, brother. I'm a sharecropper son from South Carolina.
I want my
I'm
twenty
still
dollars.
picking cotton.
I want my $20.
I'm picking this cotton, brother. I work on it.
Well, listen, you're gonna have to pick cotton because your wonderful president, the great Fecal Matter 45, has just killed Black History Month, have
Oh
just
man,
killed affirmative action legislation, have just got rid of all trans people, and the word is that this ICE they've stepped up and added a new group, and that they're coming after the Caribbean community also with this ICE immigration stuff.
and you remember what I said years ago? They're going to start this massive deportation because they want to send African Americans out of the country. That's why they start with brothers from Africa and the Caribbean. Because why? We all look alike. Brothers already. There's so many people already. People sleeping. There's several African
Really?
Americans been put on the boat and shipped back to Jamaica and Trinidad. They don't know what to do now to get back. Trump don't care. He wants to do is get you out of the country, and then once you get in these other countries, you got to figure out how to get back. They don't care, man. They don't care about nothing. It's and that's the purpose of getting rid of African American history, Black history, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you don't exist, if you don't have a history in a country, you just don't exist. You
Listen,
understand what I'm saying?
you cannot teach any longer about, or you can't teach Black history. So you cannot teach. They cannot teach about the Tuskegee Airmen. They cannot teach about slavery. They cannot teach about
Egypt, Kemet.
create Kemet.
Hmm.
All of that stuff now is illegal to teach. Anything about Black people, about Black history, has just became illegal.
There you go. There you
And
go.
so for
But check this
all of
out,
our
brother.
friends that was our Black people that was voting and supporting our buddy,
There
we
you
now
go.
see what we got.
There you go. But we put in prayer back in school. Oh, we want to make sure children don't go home a boy and come back a girl. Oh, we don't want transgenders reading in school to our children. Oh, we don't want gayness. We don't want this. All that stuff I say is diversion. Oh, people are coming from the sky. Oh, there's somebody up in the moon. There's a Martian walking in the mall. Oh my God. All that stuff is diverted. The virtue from the fact of the matter is he got that maniac in there now. What's his name? Hexif, Hexif, the one that
Yeah.
his mama said he's not a good man. He's
Yeah.
there
Head to.
now, and he will do whatever Trump asks him to do. All of these standing African American colonels, generals, they're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
They taking all of them out of work. They're
Like
getting rid
my
of them, and they're
cousin.
putting in these oligarchs, these white supremacists. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a
Well,
mess.
you know what? All this. There's light in this. Those who of us who understand or will make this move to sovereignty. Okay, the United States is falling. The Western civilizations are falling. And this is quite evident to what's going on right now. And this is every 260 years or something like that, a dynasty or the so-called democracy, falls. And this is 260 years, 60 some odd years now for the United States. So in all of the negative that we see in this for us, and the sky is falling and so on and so forth, not all of us are going to get out of here, and not all of us are going to repatriate. This is definitely a historical event, and people are starting to see again that the king has no clothes, you know, but they were using this AI technology to show that he got clothes on, you know. Um, so there's a lot to do, whether you leave or you invest. What happens to all these states that uh, uh, that is supported by black income, black businesses? You talk about Haitians eating dogs and people and all this other kind of stuff, but these people that came in seems to be what we do wherever we go. We wind up not, a lot of us wind up not benefiting from it because of our efforts, and because, you know, the white man's eye is colder to feel. And so this has happened where there's nothing can stop it. But what we can do is try to get the young people to understand, and there's some out there that do, and they've done more than we have in the past 20 or 30 years. You got 19 and 20-year-olds going to Africa, even China, so on, and starting businesses, and saying they're not coming back here. Young men and women. They don't have we didn't have the technology back then in the 60s that we have now, but even back in the 60s, 50s, late 50s, 60s and 70s, look at Israel. Look at the brothers and sisters that went back to Liberia, and so on. In 25, 50 years now, they're thriving, but at the same time, there are countries in Africa that are kicking them out. And they've contributed to industry and labor, and so on. But 50 years is up, so we're going to tear down your town. They're getting a reckoning too. All right. Us, they won't move. Whether you got Russia or China, they're still colonizers. I don't care what type of sheep wool you got on. They're still coming in for a purpose. And if we as African people, black people, can gain from that without submitting again to slavery, and so on, that you always need trade, but we hope we're smart enough to trade within ourselves, within those 54 countries, and take down the borders. That's the important thing. That's one of the most important things with trade and economic stability, in a country. So that's what I got to say.
An immediate concern for me is that I'm watching young people, black people coming from school, 12, 11 years old. A little black girl was walking home in Boston from school. They put handcuffs on her.
Yes.
They say that she stole a car. She looked like a person that stole a car. I never, ever heard of arresting a child without their parents present. I saw this video with my eyes. They arrested the little girl, was crying. It hurt my heart. But this is what, and every time you look around, you see cops stopping children coming home from school. I saw 6 young black men coming home from school. The cops say, hey. They said, what do we do? What's going on? What happened? Hey, I say, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. And the boy said, why are you dragging on me like that? and he threw the little boy down on the ground, and he arrested him. This is part of the massive deportation scheme.
And it's
Okay,
going to get worse. It's about to get worse. They just shut down the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. It's the Civil Rights Division that persecutes the cops and the police for these type of activities. They just shut it down just to say, you niggas on your own. Whatever the police do, you just got to live with it. You just got to deal with it. That's what just happened this week. So we as a people, we have no sanctuary.
Oh yeah, going to church, going to mosque, rescue anywhere
for help. We have no choice but to help ourselves, or we gonna die. I don't know how to put it no other way. Ain't no time to be nice. Ain't no time for me to be political, trying to find the right words to make it seem tolerable. We are in trouble.
Yeah, when they said that they can go in schools and arrest children,
schools, they went to school and took some kids. In the church is the sanctuary, ain't no more.
It's crazy. This man is a maniac. Everybody should have seen that. And he just got nothing but hatred. 216 bills to sign on your first day in the office. You know the man has some intentions of hurting everybody. The woman got up there, the preacher got up there, she said to him, be kind to the foreigners. They're our neighbors, they're our brothers, they're our sisters, they're good people. He called somebody and the woman's life is threatened. Okay, she said nothing bad about him. She asked him politely, and as a minister in prayer, can you please be kind to the immigrants, be kind to people in need, be kind to the poor. They are our neighbors, they are friends. That's all she said. She getting calls right now. People trying to kill her because of this maniac. I've been through the worst of America. Jim Crow was hell, and all I see is everything just like Jim Crow is coming right back. You have no rights. If a white man beat in South Carolina back in those days, if a white man beat you up and you went to the sheriff's office reporting him, they grabbed you and put you in jail because a black man has no right to talk against a white man. And we're getting to that point right now. It's ridiculous. But you know something? The roosters come home to roost.
The Klan in Kentucky is going around handing out flyers boldly with power. They handing out flyers, recruiting people. The Ku Klux Klan. This is what your president has done for everybody that voted for him. Have got us in this situation. It is horrible. And I think it's worse than what most of us even realize.
I saw it. Smile in your face. The white man will smile. He'll give you a hug. He'll give you anything you want. But his whole purpose as a black man is to destroy us. I never trust that smile. People say, oh, he's a nice guy. He's going to give us checks. I don't give a damn about no check. I'd rather have my life than to have a check. When you got kids and grandkids and you got to think about this stuff, how your children going to make it, because a lot of people are not hip to a lot of stuff. And that's unfortunate that the white man is very beguiling. That's how he get into Africa, with his smile and acting nice and giving you a little something. But in his mind, he's trying to take you over. I always, just like Muhammad Ali said, if you got 10 snakes coming after you and you run behind the door and close the door, but you know there's one nice snake, you're gonna subject yourself to all the 9 bad snakes to get to that one. They can't be trusted. The white man could not be trusted. I will never give him no leeway in my life. Black people got to get together. We're gonna have to unite together, all of us, because that's all we got. If we understand that now, all we got is us. I don't care where you come from, what you look like, what your language is. If you're a black man like me, we all in this boat together, and we have to work together. We have to come up. We have to find a way to devise a system that we can protect ourselves. And the only thing I see is getting sovereignty from America, breaking away, stop being a part of this thing. Let's build our. We got to tell them. We don't have to ask them for sovereignty. We tell them we want, just like they told England, we want our sovereignty. We want our independence. 1776. We want our freedom. Why can African Americans get freedom? Why can't we get our sovereignty? Why can't we just break away from them? If you don't want to teach my history, if you don't want me a part of your government, if you're erasing everything I did, then we don't need to be together. It's like being married to somebody and they only bring you heartache. It's a bad relationship. So I pray to God that that all of us wake up.
It's an abusive relationship. And so
yeah.
we gotta decide how long we want to stay in this abusive relationship. What are we gonna do? We're gonna keep getting beat? Say, well, he really not like that. He just had a bad term. Well, what are we gonna do? Because most of us, we are so ready. We are so ready to shoot each other in the street. All right. But we'll watch a cop beat the living doodle out of our mother and have a firearm and wouldn't do anything. Hey, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Get over her. And then that'll be the end of it. So we got to have a change of mind. You know, Malcolm said that you can't have a revolution without blood. The problem is we're afraid to bleed. We're too caught up in our Netflix and chilling. We're too caught up with our big screen TVs. We're too caught up with our little bit of success that we've had or that we believe we've had, and we'll never get to being where we need to be because we're too caught up. So we're not ready for revolution. We're not ready to fight. We're not ready to stand up and do the things that's necessary to be done because we're comfortable. We're still just trying to survive. We're not trying to make any changes. We're trying to survive. And until we come together and decide that we got to do more than survive, we're gonna be in a hell of a situation.
Well, we got comfortable. We got too comfortable with them. We got too friendly. We got too close. We started marrying their white husbands and their white wives and white children and mixing up and all that stuff. Nothing wrong with it. But most black people that get with a white woman, he feels he have to compromise certain principles that he has as a black man. And certain black women that marry white men, they can't tell me no difference. They have to compromise certain things as well, because the white husband and the white wife is not going to allow but so much bad talk about their people. But it's coming to fruition now. All of the deeds and the evilness that they've done over the years, even some of their own people are starting to record it. And so, you know, that evilness is not it's not hidden. It's there, but it's up to us to look at it and figure out how we want to maneuver ourselves into a stronger position. Because once you don't need, you have to get yourself in a position where economically, socially, politically, you don't need them. And once you don't need them anymore, you become independent, then you can start to develop programs and systems to revise yourself. And so we just have to become free of these people. It's just that clear now. And I've been saying this for a long time, but it's really just clear now that they decided we have no place here. They're trying to ship everybody out. It's not immigrants, it's everybody of color. Anybody who they feel came from Africa or the Caribbean, they want all of us to go back. And they don't give a damn, you know, about the African American. They don't give a damn. They write you off just like they write anything else off. That's why they say you don't exist.
Or embarrass them, especially when television came in play. You know, the first election. You know, listen.
Brother Rocky, I'm trying to listen carefully, but I have a little bit distortion on my side of tongue.
You know, so it's you know, that's and those and everything after that has changed because of the awareness and communications. We may complain about the devil, an angel. It, depends on what side you're on and how your head is wrapped. But yeah, the thing I was thinking about when Trump was first in, the Dred Scott, just that's gone, and I knew that was going to go when he first got in. Now he has a seeming power nobody's fighting back against because Democrats, Republicans are scared. We talk about Democrats doing this, doing that, and what have you. But I know live under the Republican Party and the the United States. It's nice for us. So we can pray all we want, but faith without works is dead. There's some of us that may have to stay here and provide support for those of us who are here, or for those of us who are going over. So they can set up for the children. For our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. Torre just banned the language of French in his country.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot to do, and it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to be another 50 years or better to of conscious people and motivated people, not just going back to Africa, but taking place where we are and all over the world. The white man was called white, but the resources and everything else are in these countries. And if they weren't in these countries, the United States, Jamaica or Trinidad, the Germans wouldn't have been that. Dominican Republic or, throughout those lives.
Well, Brother Ronnie, when we look at the situation and we are here, it gives us a time to understand that preparation time that I spoke about. This make our thoughts go in a really far place. So we are wondering, what do we do as we see this new president in charge?
A bad signal. We got two bad signals. We got a bad signal from our host and Ronnie A. Robinson. You're kind of static also, but let me ask Doctor Ronald L. Robinson. Um, how similar as to what we see going on now do you compare it to back in the day with the Jim Crow and some of the things that you've gone through as you was coming up?
Well, everything all those, like you said, the civil rights bills that he deflected, the fact that he deflected the departments of justice, the civil rights departments, Department of Justice, the fact that he got rid of civil rights divisions in the federal government. We didn't have that back in Jim Crow. So we were basically at the mercy of the state, the city, and the local municipalities, which was already racist. And so we had the similarity is that you have no recourse. There is nobody to go to. There's nobody to set in there's nobody to protect you legally. We had no legal protection under the law. And by him devising all the movements of all these departments that was put into place back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s by the civil rights movement, by our leaders, over the period of years that counterproductive the Constitution. The Constitution was written against us. The provision of the laws in the Constitution, when you look at it, they say you can't change them, but they say you can amend them and you can add something to them. So the Constitution had been amended, and there were provisions added to protect what they call a protective status for the free slaves, or black people in America at that time, after the civil rights movement of 1960s, when Dr. King went to the president, and Hoover and them, and made adjustments in the Constitution, that there would be provisions provided for us to be protected. What he just did is he revised, turned down all those provisions that was put into the government to protect us. So, like you said, who do you go to if your job throws you off the job tomorrow and call you nigger? Who do you go to? There's no DEI. There is no provision to protect us. So it's the same thing. If tomorrow a company wants to say no black people can come here, that's it. No black people can study here. That's it. Hold on a minute.
I mean, before you know it, I guess if that's the case, they'll be putting no black people could drink from this water fountain. No black people could go to this bathroom. I mean, that's look like where we headed. All right, our host is back. You have the mic.
Yes, I'm just slipping off, but I'm here with you. I'm listening to Dr. Robinson. I'm listening to Ronnie Robinson. I'm listening to you, Dr. Lemon, as well. I know what is happening and hanging over us within this atmosphere. It seems quite unpleasant. But as I said, change would come, whether it's pleasant or not. But I believe this gives us an opportunity to really wake up and look at ourselves and realize we have to unite. Whether we like it or not, is our survival depends on it. And we needed something to shake us up for this preparedness that we have to get ourselves into. Again, it's 2025. There will come 2026, 2027, 2028. And when things are to manifest, we'll wonder to ourselves what really happened. But let us look at this year and see what positive we can do as a people. I keep stressing, but I see that the division among ourselves, is this unpleasant situation going to force us now to realize we are just one, from the melanated people? So we have been having so much fight within ourselves of almost like tribal war. Who's important, who's not important, who's doing this? But at this one set time now, we look around and realize, as I think Dr. Robinson just said, the Constitution was not written for the Black people of this land. It not in favor of, or to benefit us in many ways. Now I have seen so many different things taken away. Like I see there's no longer no Black History Month. And I laugh. We shouldn't have Black History Month. We should have Black History Year. How only February, the shortest month, is our acknowledgement for being Black. So thank you that you took away Black History Month. We shall now have Black History Year. So every month is Black History Month for 12 months of a year. So it's okay. We only had one. Now we give ourselves 11 more. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we teach our children. It's Black History Month in March, April, May, June, and so on. It gives us an opportunity. 28 days was taken away from us. Okay, big deal. Let us now know it's Black History Year instead. That's what it is. The changes will come in some severe kind of way that all I can say, it will force you on your knees to pray. We've been living almost in La La Land, thinking everything is all right. Then come this harsh ruler and realize it's not so all right after all. But it has always been a certain way. It's just we refuse to really acknowledge the mess we have been in for a very long time. And no changes was going to be done unless forcibly we now see that we have some land in Jamaica we could plant. We have land in Guyana we could plant. We could go Trinidad and plant. Just with all these unpleasantries, what is going to happen soon, very soon, we are having a food shortage is going to come upon the earth. And this is not because the land cannot take all the crops. It has been designed this way, whereby a food shortage and man-made famine will be created. These things are coming. What do we
Oh, all right. Our host is having a lot of difficulties this evening with her signal. Okay, she's back. You may be in a different spot or location than prior weeks.
Yeah,
That's
I
maybe
I am, and also my phone data has run out because my bill is up tomorrow, so I'm kind of on the verge and edge of things, sort of. So I believe in that's what's happening. I did my looking, but that's probably with the signal. But I'm here with all of us, and we seem to have this really these executive orders have really brought on a kind of dreary sort of feeling with us. You know, it's almost like a debt. And, just to even mention casually, one of our very, should I say, one of our studio family had a death in her family, which was, she's often here with us, Miss Rebecca. I want to say her mom passed away 2 days ago. She made it, the queen made it to 91 years old. So I just want to acknowledge, Rebecca, we have you in our thoughts and our prayers that you have to face such a situation. And almost like what we are going through right now with the changes, it somehow feels like a death, like a death in the family. For so much of us we know, it's unpleasant because we have friends who have to go back home. We have people we establish relationships with. Then we see the broken up of families, which have to happen because, as I believe, as Dr. Ramsey stated, they're arresting children without their parents. That is kind of a little bizarre, but if that's happening, that's what's happening. Because laws were passed and instructions were given on really brutal forms of execution.
all right. Satan's having trouble with us signal again. I would say that it's crazy that we're in a place now where child going to school. So he worrying about talking about going to school, a boy, and coming home talking about their girl. Now they got to worry about going to school in America and then never leaving school and coming home in Mexico someplace. Okay, so they're all doing it's all just the craziness that is just happening right now, and I just hope that we're prepared for it because uh, we said we worrying about the child going to school, a boy, and coming home a girl. Now we got to worry about them going to school American and coming home Mexican, or not even coming home, but leaving school third period and being shipped to the airport to go back to some place where they've never been. They're shipping people back there to like Mexico and all these places that have never been. They're born here, and it is just
Um,
outrageous.
I just want to add to your conversation, Dr. Winborn. Is it that I heard of a plane landed in Mexico with some immigrants and they told the plane he cannot land? Have you all heard about this?
I didn't hear about that.
That was Colombia.
That's Colombia?
Yeah, Colombia said they don't want their what so-called illegals back. They don't want don't bring them back to us. And so they turned the
Yes.
airplane back to America. That's what all those countries should do. Actually, they should all say we don't want them. Turn them back.
Turn
Make them
them
go
back.
back. You know what I'm saying? Let them figure it out. But
So what's going to happen there?
the thing about when Dr. Wimborne talking about the civil rights and the Jim Crow laws, one thing I would say we did wrong, we did not prepare ourselves for a stronger defense. We allowed them to make adjustments to the Constitution, but we never made them put provisions that gave us. They said that we. If you look at the Constitution, it says to the, with the amendment, it said that we, the slaves, are in a protective environment. We're supposed to be protected because we're vulnerable to whatever and whenever this so-called, these people that's in control want to do what they want to do. And one of the things that um, we didn't realize that the reason they were so animus about our position coming forward as participating in the economy, and we only actually had full participation in this economy probably about the last 50 years. If you look at it, we never really had. They stole $600 billion after we got into the economy. They stole another $600 billion from us, and this has been written in the New York Times. So, but what will happen, what I think will happen with us is that we got too comfortable with their relationships in the Constitution and making whatever amendments they were making, and we never came up with provisions for ourselves. Where we and I think one of the things, and Dr. King, I think Dr. King in his last years, months, weeks, or whenever, he got to an understanding that there was no reconcilable conditions with the white man. He always won us down, and our problem is we were too overproductive, if you will. We did too many things. 50,000 inventions, cars, airplanes, airports, whatever. Everything you see, we did it. The fear of our success, because they couldn't do what we could do, their fear made them feel they need to protect themselves in a way that we could never overcome them economically. We always have to work for them. So even if you make $100 million a year and you're working for them, you're making them rich. And so they decided that they will never let us be full participants economically, socially, or let us rise again above them because they don't want the competition. And so I think right now we're dealing with a lot of fear. It's ignorance, it's hatred, it's white supremacy as well. But all that stuff is fear of the black man because we have risen far beyond anybody who ever been incarcerated, who ever been enslaved in the world. The economic situation that we developed, the type of economy that we develop in America, then is not heard of. And so the fear of these white people, they don't want competition. They don't want black men to rise up, and they're putting in laws and they're putting in provisions to keep you under control. But once you get out of control of their system, that's when they want you out. And so right now,
Dr. Robinson, if I may, to add to your point, I totally agree with you concerning the fear that the white man has for the black man rising up. Hence the reason I do not believe in reparation. It was once said it was going to be 40 acres of land in a mule. It was never given. Now I'm hearing or rather and people expressing that $141 will be given to each person. Think about that, anyone? Because I simply don't believe.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it, but um, I don't think that they're going to do it. But I think that the money is owed. Okay, and I think that there are ways to do this and to get the money into the right hands if you wanted to. And I think that um, there are our people today. There are descendants of those people that have been enslaved that is still suffering post-traumatic slavery. We're still living in it. It has just taken on a new a new way of manifesting itself. So again, we have to take control. We have to become self determined, and come out of the system, and operate in our sovereign status and our sovereignty. If we're going to ever have the freedom, not liberty, but the freedom that we need in order to make these things happen. And so, again, when I see the stuff that's going on with Trump, I see the stuff that's going on in the White House that's happening now, it just makes me know that the time has come. We need to get ready and we just need to be prepared. So I get so frustrated sometimes when I see people still playing games. I get so frustrated when I see people not realizing what's going on. I get so frustrated, and I see people now. When I see stuff that's going on, and I look at people that went out and voted for him, I have no sympathy at all.
Absolutely.
Anything that happened to them, none, because we tried to tell you. So don't come now with your complaints, expecting me to give a sympathetic
Uh,
ear.
or a piece of bread.
We
Right.
You
we
know,
we have to definitely understand that there was nothing, never, not the intention was always what they feel to take back what belongs to them in their mind, right? So they never had any intentions. They were just so surprised that we got farther than whatever they ever expected. And they're at the point right now where they feel vulnerable. That's why you hear all these congressmen talking about white men are being discriminated against, white men being lowered class. They know that's a bunch of bull crap, but they throw that out there because that's how Trump teach them.
that's the
Tell a
biggest
lie, tell a lie.
bullshit.
Yeah, so Trump understands that if you just keep telling lie, tell a lie, white people are not that intelligent. They're
And
gonna gravitate
nowadays, it
towards.
should be each one support one. Now, if this move, when this movement, or not when it is happening, movement to Africa, this is going to be an arduous task. So, we have to have a front line and be able to support the front line over there so that they can so that we can submit a foundation, secure a foundation, even with this land particularly. So I may not be able to make that move, right away. I have skills, but it may be somebody that's more skillful than I am that needs to make that move. They need to be supported. All right, and there should be a list of things that we need to accomplish within a period of time for support, so that the first families or the first members move in. Certain things have to be in place. So there has to be a development project over there where those of us can and those of us who can support. I'm
We
not
we
just
we
talking
we
about
We want to welcome to the stage our sister Becky, and we also want to welcome to the stage Minister Lazarus, from Local 49.
welcome.
give thanks.
Welcome.
I've
Welcome,
been
welcome.
backstage. I've been backstage for such a long time,
Yeah,
asking for entry into the show. I was just about to give up, and then I just noticed somebody let me in.
yeah, yeah. I had the problem myself for a minute.
Mm.
Lazarus is still muted as well.
He has to everyone have to unmute their mic. I can't unmute it. You have to unmute the mic, and we're still trying to find our host, who's have horrible signals this week. And she's been going in and out. We've been teasing her because she's always talking about the aliens, and we said the aliens must be coming to get her. But it looks like she's back. The aliens brought
I
you
can
back.
I can hear you all, but you all can't hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
You can
The
hear me?
one was before you. It was sounding like a banjo on the other end.
All right, there she go again. All right, Ross Lazarus, your mic, you're on mute, so you'd had to open your mic. I tried to open it, but I can't open it. And welcome, Mr. Becky. We're sorry that you sat in the green room so long, but we have you with us now. And I know that you've been hearing what we've been talking about. What are your thoughts on this new administration and the stuff that our new president is doing right now?
Well, firstly, I never thought it would happen. I it's like reality has stared us in the face right now. We knew it was about to happen, but when we see it happening, it's like we cannot believe it's happening. I was just saying to Sister Sadie earlier today, I went to do my grocery shopping and I took a cab. I'm in New York, right? I just flew into New York last week. So I'm right here in New York right now. I'm not in Canada anymore. So I took the cab for me to go home, and the cab driver was just lamenting the fact that he cannot believe what's happening so quick, right? And for me, I don't have an issue with it per se, but when I heard that, because none of the executive orders have been signed into law, right? They still have to go, they have to be challenged, right? The problem that I have here is affirmative action and the DEI that was taken away from us. Black History Month was taken away. But in some instance, I always ask too, what was the real reason of Black History Month anyway, right? I've heard a lot of celebrities, like even Denzel Washington, call for eradication of Black History Month, right? So taking it away, it will give us more insights now for us to understand our history. Make efforts to train our children and tell our children the truth, right? Instead of waiting for a month to tell them, hey, what was happening, right? Um, The other problem that I really had with all these executive orders is, as a journalist and having covered climate change so much, and now I'm seeing what is happening to climate change
We're
because
falling off
Mr.
again.
Really, Mr. Trump is drill baby drill, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And with the drill baby drill, we need the minerals, the critical minerals from the earth. Even our cell phones right now, I was saying to Sister Sadie a while ago that we need lithium to operate our cell phones. We need lithium to operate our laptops and our battery control devices and our everything. We need lithium, and the world supply of lithium is going to run out next year, 2026. So we have Elon Musk building his Teslas, electric cars, SpaceX, and everything need lithium. So where are we going to get it from? Humanity must progress. We must go forward, right? So when we come in and we say, okay, I used to cover climate change in the Caribbean. We used to have hurricanes, floodings in California. We have bushfires. Climate change is an essential part. But then, how are we going to survive the onslaught that is to come if we are going to hearken onto the beliefs of climate change, right? So for me, it's cutting. It's cut as a blade cutting on both sides now with his executive orders. Because at one point we have drill, baby, drill. Let's get the minerals from the earth. Let's progress with the humanity with humanity's survival. But the backlash from that, I was saying to Sister Sadie, we're going to be having breast cancers. We're going to having fertility problems because the water will be contaminated, our health. And then we have Robert Kennedy who telling us that he's going to help us with our health issues, stop eating processed foods. He's going to expose the truth to us when you yourself are telling me, drill, baby, drill, getting into the Earth's core, disturbing everything down here and getting us even sicker, right? But then on the other end, we need isotopes in hospitals. We have to go down in the earth and take the minerals. But let's look at the other end of the dubious coin. That's going to happen to us, right? We're going to be exposed to so many different forms of cancers, right? So where do we stand? It's a tough situation here because um, many people got the president they wanted, right? I am still a Trump supporter. I still wanted a president like Trump, but has he gone to the extremes? That's the question I have been asking. And if he's gone to the extremes, now I just saw that he could be, if age permits and health permits, he could also serve another term. So in 2028, we might still be having him as the president, right? I am not really against but a lot of the policies that he's bringing, I'm a little, especially for in terms of poverty. We are looking at the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal agenda, and that expires, Dr. Winburn, in 2030, right? Now, if another Republican government administration enters in 2028, 2 years, we have not accomplished anything. The goal was to end hunger, end poverty, stable governments. We would not have achieved anything. So I'm a little concerned now about progress, the progress of humanity. Where do we go
Shouldn't
from here?
avoid, shouldn't avoid for Trump because he is not a humane person. His program is not about humanity. It's about him and his rich partners. That 30 years ago, none of the wealthy people would support him. They didn't even want to be around him. He tried to buy into basketball and football and everything else, and there was this group of people, the top 1% people that didn't want to even answer his phone calls. Okay, so he lied and cheated and stole and discriminated, all right, against the people, and he lived in my community here, you know, and son, and and so on, and he's always shown who he was. He showed it when in the '70s when he wouldn't let black people move into the apartment buildings. Okay, when his father did KKK march up Hillside Avenue. All right, when people were still out here getting abused by white people, I was one of them. All right, when people were getting their houses burned down in Rochdale and Rosedale, not too far from me. When signs were on people's lawns saying "Sell now," they're moving in. We voted for the lesser of the two evils because none of them, if it wasn't for King and other people to push the envelope for civil rights or human rights, which white folks got as well as we did, but mine, who everybody who came here from different places, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from South America, got here. All right, and got here, and we're able to get rights and food and education and everything else. That's because of us. We knew, we always knew who we were dealing with. Some people just slept. Okay, we after civil rights, some people just slept. I got mine. I'm wealthy. I'm rich. My kids going to the best school. We're going to Oxford, Yale, and NYU, and all these other places that we couldn't go before, only because now that we fought for entrance of that, and it makes their money. It's all about money. And now here we have a man here. I wasn't too happy about Obama, but here we have a man here now tells us who he is and what he's going to do. I say he's honest to that fact, but he is the most corrupt, vile. I FCC will cut me off. And the history, maybe not in history, but all right, the past 50 years. And people have a thing that is going to be different because if they vote for Trump, bullshit.
You
Just
know what it
plain
is,
bullshit.
Ron? You know what it is, Ron? People don't realize how much their life is threatened. Under Jim Crow, people were killed. People were lynched. Your children were beaten and killed in the street. If this is the kind of society you want to live in, go ahead and live it. Okay? But remember, there's a seriousness to it that I know about. I lived in this crap. I know what kind of person. I know Trump personally. I met him face to face. I know what kind of person he is. I know what people said to me, what he said about me to others, white people that he didn't know that I had friendships with. I know these people are deviant. The purpose of even having a history month is because institutionalization of a psychological control of our children. If your children don't know nothing about their history and their background, they're bound to be enslaved. Slaves would what did they do to the slaves? They took away everything that made them a human being, and they killed them and they treated them like dogs. That's the purpose of this evilness, is to get you so low, so unhuman, that they can beat the hell out of you anytime they want and kill you. I just said, children right now, if you look at it and wake up, children are being stopped in the street coming home from school, and cops are throwing them on the ground and putting handcuffs on them. They're a little girl, 11 years old. I just told the story before. She was told that somebody stole a car, and she looked like the person, and she just coming from school, 11-year-old girl, and they put handcuffs on her. Are you kidding me? Can black people wake up and see the deviance, what hurt? Maybe you're not hurt. Maybe your child is not hurt. Maybe you don't see nothing. I'm a grandfather. I'm a father. I'm a black man in America for all these years. I know how they do. They Jeff Robinson, who did a research on American history, said they demonize you. They turn you into an animal. And once they do that, they destroy you. And so I'm saying to people, this not that lightly. Don't take this so lightly. Because if you have a child, if you have a daughter, if you love black children, if you love black people, you better learn that this is serious. They took away all your rights. Nobody, no, just like you said, the stuff that he did is not even signed into law. But the provisions of the law right now, they're taking it in consideration. So many people's civil rights are being violated. So many people they killed the man, Robert Brooks. They
Brooks,
killed him on live television.
beat him
The
to death.
police literally had that
Beat him
man
to
in
death
handcuffs. And if everybody is sleeping and don't
in
watch the
front
news,
of
as he
everybody.
said, don't watch that video. They literally killed that man on television, execution style, a lynching. This is serious. That means any one of us could be walking down the street and a cop could be a white racist and he could grab you, throw you on the ground, shoot you in the head, and there is no provisional laws to protect you. There's no civil rights laws right now. There is nothing to protect you, and we can see the cops are acting crazy. My fear is not this white man. My fear is that he has a gun and my child is walking down the street innocent from school and he just shoot him
We're
in the
picking
head.
up noise from somebody's background, so be conscious of what's going on
Yeah.
in your background. If you got your mic on, please. Thank you.
Yeah, my fear is innocent children, innocent women, the elderly, people who cannot protect themselves, going about their daily business, minding their business, and some racist cop decide there's a nigga, I want to kill him, I want to kill her, I want to kill that child, and he can do it, and there's no legal repercussions. There's nothing that parent, that family could do. There's so many families right now fighting in the court system to get justice for their innocent family member who were killed for no reason other than being black. We used to say years ago, nigga in the night. That's why they kill you. Okay. And so these things, the reason a person will take away your legal proceedings and your legal rights is because they have intentions of doing things to you and you have no recourse. So this is the seriousness of it all, is that even though if they didn't get to law yet, they're doing it anyway. And judges who are right-winged Republican will let certain things go. There are judges right now, uh, they're letting people go. They're letting officers kill people, and they're not taking any legal proceedings against them. And so these things are going on. It's just too much. It's too many things happening right now so quickly. This man just got there, 3 days, 7 days, whatever it is. And all of a sudden now you hearing about cops killing people, children walking down the street, and they're being harassed by cops and arrested and thrown on the ground. And the only thing the kid asks him is, "What did I do? What's going on?" You can't even ask that no more.
Right. I mean, the point of it is to traumatize the child, traumatize that child, traumatize our children, so that when they get older, they'll fear the authority. That's what that's all about. That's why it's about the psychological warfare. That's why you can have a ticket. You can have a light out in the back of your car and have 7 police cars. 14 policemen come because you don't have no insurance, or because your light out, or the plate over your light is out, or you made an illegal turn, or you run a stop sign. Why? It's psychological warfare, and the message that no matter what you do, we will overpower you. You cannot come against us. So they'll start young. The scripture says, train up a child in the way that he will go. When he get older, he will not depart. Well, that's good. Uh, and that's bad. Okay. It's good if we're training them in the right things, but it's bad if the authorities are traumatizing our children and causing them to fear the authority.
Very well put together, Dr. Winmore. But let me just add to, I should say, the confusion. This fear that is going to be instilled or creeping up slowly upon our children and even upon ourselves and upon society for a moment. This is 2025. We have not gotten to 2026 yet. But 2026, we'll understand what is truly fear. If we think the police is knocking a kid to the ground, it's frightful. Wait until the SpaceX program has been introduced. Then you will really understand the word. Because by that time, men had to think what is about to come on the earth. So this preparation of this fear and to numb you down to the fact that nothing has happened. This is also a preparation because I'm just going to call names. Elon Musk is going to corrupt a big situation, and we're going to have a SpaceX program with certain things flying at us, and then we really be on our knees in prayer because the fear that will grip us when that has been introduced somewhere in 26. You understand? So this is, again, I said it, preparation. We are going to go through something nail biting, knees buckling, and every other sort of element that goes with fear. Because fear is going to come on the earth. And this introduction of the police can do what they want, it's a bit of numbing down, but I'm just saying, 2026, we really understand what fear is because there's something called the SpaceX and Elon Musk, and that is not pleasant. Just to give you a little briefing, let us enjoy 2025. What we're seeing right now seems to be ugly, but we ain't got to the uglies yet. And I ain't trying to break any balls, but we ain't get to the uglies yet
Yeah,
for what is supposed to
yeah.
come. So
That's
again, in the face of this type of danger, what do we do?
I
Okay, you want
am
to
very
join us?
buckle
concerned.
up.
I am very
Join
concerned
us,
about.
Shiloh.
I am very concerned about the human rights of the individual. If we turn our attention to the French Revolution of 1789, the whole battle of the French Revolution was for human rights. The melody, the chimes was for human rights. And we've come a long way from 1789 to now, right? And when I look at prisoners entering, I don't call them prisoners, I call them migrants, um, leaving the United States in shackles, in chains, boarding a plane to go back to their country, it brings me back to slavery. The chains, I'm very concerned about the chains. People are shackled, they are in an aircraft for how many hours without no water, no food, not allowed to use the washroom. I mean, what did they do? I mean, they just left their country in search of an exodus for survival. On the other hand, the other problem I have too is when President Biden was leading the administration, he had a humanitarian package for countries like Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela. And these countries, we know that their democracy doesn't exist in those countries. And it hurt my spirit when I see these Haitians are being deported back to Haiti. A gang race, I mean, the gangs are running Haiti right now, right? And we have children, mothers with children in arms being led back to Haiti to be killed. Where is our humanity? I mean, I am still in favor of the president and what, but I mean, somebody should be. Isn't there somebody to start talking and letting the president know that, you know, or is he just excited because it's his first week in office, or as Sister Sadie said, is the trend going to continue? Right? I'm concerned. I could take a lot but when it comes to human suffering and poverty and the element of human rights. It affects me because in as much as I never experienced the civil rights movement, I get goose pimples when I see what took place, because these are human beings that were being treated like that in their own land, right? And now we have migrants, through no fault of their own. That's a new slavery, or what is it? I mean, I'm very concerned about that. So
When
I think people should start marching. I mean, bring back the momentum. And but yet, on the other hand, as I said, nothing has been made into law yet. It's just the president exercising his pen and his powers, right? So I don't know if anybody
when
have
when I
some.
was
I would say this:
when
I'm not marching no more. I'm not.
when I
I done been to enough marches. I done been to enough protests. All that. And have we been marching for 100 years? It ain't a damn thing changed.
yeah,
You've been marking since Martin.
when I was in Dominican Republic, I went to Haiti, and to my surprise, there is an island. There's a part of Haiti. It's beautiful, gorgeous. All the rich white people are there. All the rich whoever is there, and you pass all the chaos. You have to go through the police and show your identity and blah 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 blah. But you pass all the chaos, or if you get a private jet or plane, you can pass it by air. But we were going through car. But nevertheless, went to this beautiful place, and all these beautiful islands. You can stop one island and get this food, and everybody and all the guys that do tour guiding in Haiti, they know these islands and they have their boats and they take you to these different islands on a boat. I never saw some place so beautiful in my life.
I'm,
You
I'm,
run a few
I'm Dr.
houses.
Winborn. I lived in Haiti for 11 months. First time I went to cover the earthquake in 2012. And then I went back again to cover the cholera when it was rampant down there. And talking about what you just said, I love Haiti so much. Haiti is part of me. There is a part called Bonièvre where we have the rich gated communities. This is the most beautiful part of earth I have ever seen, right?
Yes.
With hanging trees over the gates like a Garden of Eden, quiet, calm waterfalls. I'm saying this is Haiti, right? You know what? And these people, they don't mix with the lower class. And the people who work in their homes, they have to wear uniforms, made uniforms. Their security wear uniforms. Their dogs are at the gate. They live like the rich and famous of Hollywood. So if these people, I think they have brought a lot of oppression to their own countries because they like it that way, right? And when it's compulsory for a maid to wear a washout uniform and an old pair of white shoes, you know, just to prove status in Haiti. Haiti is a country where blacks and white, you have to have a white face for you to be recognized. You have to have some kind of color. You know, they have a bad problem there with cholera, right?
Yes, yes,
So you know that.
yes,
So the Haiti that people talk about, I always try to make them understand that that's where I want to retire. That's where I want to live the rest of my life because that is the most beautiful part of on earth, right?
yes, yes,
So all these migrants from Haiti that came from this, Haiti is run by gang violence. Nobody put the cameras on that side of town.
right, right.
See, that's what I wanted to emphasize here. But
Yeah,
on the
but
other end of the
you realize that
spectrum, yeah.
all these things going on in Haiti is driven by the West and
Yes,
France. You're right.
yes.
You know what I'm saying. So it's unfortunate that when people impoverished and uneducated, and they don't have certain provisions in their life, and they do see, and they do know that the other side is doing very well, and a lot
Hmm.
of it is them feeling anarchy against that. Why are these people over here so rich and we suffering here? And so those two things never work out. The same thing's going to happen in the U.S. It's going to be such a divided economically because all the oligarchs and all the wealthy are taking over everything. So the poor people are going to say, how can they have all of this and I have nothing? And so there's going to be that kind of provision in America as well. And so these things are set up. These coups and these wars, they're set up to control a country. I know France has been always trying to, they always got some devious behavior because they're trying to get something, some kind of control over something, and they let these things happen. And so we have to be careful, when we look at the world and what's going on, and when you talk to people in these countries and you get the real understanding, especially you talk to some of the
Hmm.
social leaders in Haiti, they'll explain to you how they see certain men coming into their country, white men dressed extremely well, and talking to people and giving people certain provision. The little kids, I was so little kids, 11, 12 years old, talked about being recruited into these gangs, into these armies, that they have no intentions to want to be there. And so as soon as they get a chance to run away or go to some other country or some place or go, all of them are running into, Dominican Republic, and Dominicans got their mentality as well. But people have to do what they have to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, my heart goes, and I see this kind of behavior all over the world, all over Africa and Caribbean and Brazil, and you can go on and on and on. You see this kind of behavior, and it's intensified by the fact that some people have an agenda. Other people have, and they're European people, they have an agenda, they have certain control, they want to get your natural resources, they want to take over this, that, and the other. And they set people up for a certain kind of social conditioning and psychological control, and have people behaving in a manner because, like Malcolm X said, the man that's impoverished is not going to really see his true enemy. He's going to look at the next man next to him and get angry at that man instead of directing his anger to the appropriate person or authorities that's causing him that condition. His anger would be so misguided. His anger would be so frustrated that he's gonna surpass the person who's really his enemy and go to the guy closest to him and attack him. That's why FBI statistics say 98 of all the crimes are committed among the same people. It's always the same people in the same communities, the same cultures, the same backgrounds, because that's how society, goes. But it's unfortunate, and I pray to God that they find some solace. And there's a move now to put a president into office in Haiti and try to get some kind of reconciliation. But it's very difficult now because people don't pass to a point where this gangster guy, I don't know who. He seems like somebody's paying him or something. He just bent on. He just started killing old people. The gangs in Haiti. He just told them to kill old people. I don't know what all that mentality is about, but it seems like somebody's getting paid to do some kind of craziness, and they're working with those people. They're working with those outside forces, and it's unfortunate.
Now, I do agree with you, Dr. Robinson, because indeed there is a mandate to get rid of older people. And one of the reasons being they don't want that true knowledge to be passed, like how we pass things down orally, just in our African tradition. So they want that separation. So the young people not having the knowledge or association with the older people, look how much things they're losing out and missing out. And when these older people die and this information is written down, how now are we going to pass it to our children about certain important things? So we are seeing what they're doing, and we now have to counteract this kind of action. So we know within ourselves we have to gather with some older people, get some information, because older people are a wealth of knowledge. The younger people have the energy, but they don't have the knowledge. You know, they run around like chickens without a head. So this blend, we found it from our motherland, we found it in our African tradition, where all the people sat down with the youths and exchange of knowledge was given, because the older people know they have to pass that battle to the youthfulness and the strength and vigor. But having no knowledge, what is a nation going to do? You see, the youth are zealous, you know, but zeal without knowledge like a runaway horse. So we are seeing how we need to blend certain things within our society or our black race, because a lot of truths are not told from the books that are written, but rather was handed down so that we got the knowledge and the proper knowledge of certain things. So we see where it's a really unpleasant situation with the executive orders being written up. And painfully so, we watch at the pride of the black nation. And I often think of, you know, the Black Wall Street. I can hardly digest it so much. It brings me very, very teary. Because imagine there was a society of black people doing for themselves, living for themselves, not wanting anything. And with all that struggle, somebody found it necessary in the jealousy to burn the place down. And I mean, bombs were dropped on the city. So who has done it? Really? This had to do something with government as well. Was there anybody tried for this atrocity? It was almost like anybody got punished for doing this, but it remains in our history how painful. I can hardly revisit the moment. I didn't live here, but when I hear, you know, the passion of the men that are here, you know, Dr. Robinson, you really bring it on as far as passion go and the black people and what they have done. So, you know, we coming from the Caribbean, we know you all have laid the groundwork of certain things, but painfully so, how things has been destroyed. And, you know, as I said, oh, what happened? We want to know what really happened, and how much more could we take? But what I'm saying is the year of preparation. It helped our eyes to open a little more as to what we could do and should do. And as I said earlier on, Black History Month was taken away from us, so now we have Black History Year. It is our duty to teach our black children the truth. How could a white man really teach you his history without tainting it so that he can look like the victor?
Amen.
So praise the Lord.
But
Hallelujah.
something that we miss signaling. In America, they do a lot of signaling, right? They come up with words, code words that they understand that we don't understand, but they make us participate. Mega, make America great again. When was America great for us? Never. But to them, they're saying to each other, we're going, and he was saying to his people, we're going to be back in the days when we control, when white men control. If you notice, all of his leaders and everybody around him is white, male, and rich, right? Because that's who the people who originally controlled the economy, the education system, the judicial system, the legal, everything. And they wanted to get that back again. DEI is a means of saying we don't want no black people working with us. Okay, so they came up with that concept of DEI. Then they said woke. If somebody's woke, that's a conscious person of color that know what the deal is and they're spreading the word. We don't want those people around. So these white people, when we were in Jim Crow back in South Carolina, they had all these words that a lot of people didn't pick up on, and being that they didn't pick up on the words, it was used against them. Knowledge is power. So once you understand what they're saying, then you can overcome the circumstances of what they're trying to do. So that whole thing, mega, make America great again, is basically saying put white men back in power, control everything, and then everybody else is subservient to them. It's like England says, when you come over there, if you're not born there, you're a subject of the crown. Whatever they want you to do, whenever they want you to do it. But that's the ideology is all over the world, being subject of a country because you're not naturally from there. And that's the way they feel about this whole concept. White Anglo-Saxon, Protestant controls America, the WAPs. And that's what they want to continue to do. And that's the way we have to be smart.
Yes, they have lost us in semantics. They made their own it's like they have their own way of preaching to us to make us understand. Privileged white men, as you said, are ruling the world, and I'm glad that you mentioned MAGA because I'm doing an article now on MAGA. MAGA, Make America Great Again, is now a brand, right? It's a corporation,
Yes,
right? And it's I think one of them had said corporations are people. So MAGA is now a person. MAGA feels, MAGA experiences. So with that brand, with that corporation now, it's going. We are not governed by an administration like democracy, a democratic institution. We are governed by MAGA, Make America Great Again, privileged white men of a chosen few, right? Just like in the olden days.
right.
And then we have to revert again back to Orwellian theory, Dr. Winburn, George Orwell, in double think and double talk, right? Because the semantics they give us, even with the media, it's all about double thinking, having two ideas in your mind simultaneously and double speak, right? So we have been caught now in a kind of quagmire. Now, when I look at the way I still support Trump, I say that all the time. I'm still a Republican,
I
but
don't know. Well, go ahead.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. But that's not the grand old party. Trump is not a Republican. Trump is MAGA, right?
Right.
Trump
Right.
is Make America Great Again. And even with this guy here, Vivek, who was the Indian guy who was going to have that big job with Elon Musk, as soon after the inauguration, I don't know, Elon Musk decided he doesn't want him on his team anymore, so they had to quickly go now and make him try to run for governor of Ohio, right? So why? And I said, I questioned why. And I was told it's because Vivek is brown skin and he's
Yes.
Indian. And yeah,
Yes.
he's a brown skin Indian. Uh, Elon Musk only want is like he see a kind of Hitler theory where it has to be blue eyes and blonde hair and pale skin, right? And I now realize the extremes of what that represent now in America because at the beginning I just thought, well, that's why I'm writing on it right now, because that MAGA was just Make America Great Again. But that's a big brand and it's wealthy. I mean, the amount of merchandise, and I understand they're going to come up with a store like an Amazon store, right?
Right.
Where
Yes.
you're going to be buying merchandise from Make America Great Again, from even baby diapers,
Yes.
MAGA baby diapers, MAGA milk for babies, toys, clothes. Every It's like a big, huge conglomerate of commodities in this Make America Great Again vision. So I was saying, but I thought Make America Great Again was just a slogan that, I mean, no, it has right now it's going to be, that's why Jeff Bezos had to link with Trump. He had no choice because Trump, a large part of Amazon will be carrying the merchandise.
Yes.
Right. So it's not a slogan. It's a dog whistle.
Well, whatever it was, but
So it's,
when I got to understand that, I was like blown away. And I'm saying, really? So all Bezos could not even think differently than to use Amazon to market all of these commodities, like Make America Great Again is going to be like it's already $1 billion industry, but it's going to
Mm,
be so great, you know,
mm.
but great
Nah.
for whom and for what, you
It's for
know?
racists. It's for racists. It's for
then you
classy racist people.
and then you
That's what it's
trace
for.
Welcome, Ross Kemian.
Well, yeah. Greetings, everyone. Greetings.
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 Certainly. Greetings.
Um,
Yeah.
if I may, Mr. Robinson, you want to go ahead? You
Yeah.
want me to come in now?
No,
Welcome
you
to
go
the
right
show.
ahead. You go right ahead.
You go right ahead.
All right. Well, greetings, greetings. Sad to hear the news that there's a beautiful, wonderful sister that's a MAGA representative. But I understand the culture is persuaded that way, and they do business opportunities with our peoples. But we have to not forget Thomas Jefferson had a lot of children with his wife who he sold. So they can make love to you, they can be friends with you, they can have you at the barbecue, they can have you at the cheese party. Um, but definitely they are about the herd, and they have a herd mentality, and they go to great scapes to make sure that their small population within the earth, which is about what, 7%, they want to make sure that everyone believes that they are a large population that is influential into every aspect of the culture, to flood our minds with thinking that, man, if they don't move, nothing else works in this world. But that's a false reality and a false narrative put together by Hollywood. But Hollywood is on fire right now. So things are changing, you know. We have a chance now to be on platforms where people around the world can see us and hear things from our own mouths. And that means our own people too. You know, now we can hear from the Akan, now we can hear from the Sahel, now we can hear from the Igbo in Biafra. Now we can hear from the people in Kenya and Tanzania. And so we don't have to hear some fake narrative of, oh, African that's gonna make it. When they're on YouTube say, hey, look at us, we're doing just fine. Now we don't have to figure out about Trump and this and that, because we understand that of course they're gonna be friendly, because the only reason why they did slavery in the first place was just to be economically advanced in front, and not to assimilate into a culture of people with dominant genes. So they don't want to destroy us and have us to be something that they cannot use. And there are people where they take care of things that they use. When they have a nice car, they'll polish it, they keep it nice and shiny, but they'll talk trash about the other one down the street. Or they'll just talk trash or whatever, say, I could buy a car anytime I want to buy a car, but I love my Mercedes. I love my, So we have to be mindful of people that play with us in a sense of having us as pets, like dogs. You see a dog in the street, they might shoot it. But, that little dog in the house that's got a whole heritage sent to it of $5 million from some little old lady who care about her dog so much more than anybody in her own family. But at the same time, they might shoot you down the road because you were a dog to them. So, they tell you all dogs go to heaven, but we don't need to really try. We don't need to try to fathom why they would do this and why do they do that. We need to be about, hey, EWF has a great slogan, Federation Rising. That is a great slogan for like branding. Rastafari is a great slogan for branding. That's evident. We see Bob Marley, One Love. That's all over the world. So I like to be in that kind of mindset when these crazy times are going on. There's war outside. Are we talking about the people who are looking to take care of that stuff? Or are we trying to figure out, hey, how can we secure ourselves with knowledge so that we can carve for ourselves a future into the sun? That's what I'm on. So, hey, if anybody want to join along them lines, man, it's a bright thing going on, because people are waking up and people are realizing their rights as sovereign beings and the rights to unify and get together. So the same way how MAGA is getting together, we ourselves have opportunities to get together in so many ways. So many ways. So
And that's what I kept saying, and that's what I finally concluded to, is that um, there must be an awakening. right? And
Mm.
probably Trump has brought the awakening on the Black community to make us understand our position, our place, and what we could do. Because if DEI is eliminated, affirmative action is eliminated, Black History Month is eliminated, then if there is unity within the
Well,
race and we come together, we can.
well, you
I
see,
mean, we are a vast number.
that's true, but I fortunately, I guess for myself, come from a reality where I grew up with my teachers telling me Black History 365. My teachers told me this. They had T-shirts with this. I grew up seeing them. So if we love ourselves, we're about ourselves. So despite what I know, most people would have loved to, partake in this society as a society told us that we would be able to, but some of us always was looking to see, though what they're saying is not true, because every day we see our brothers and sisters getting shot down, getting destroyed. Even when Barack Obama said he identified with Trayvon, they chastised the president for saying such. So if we see these attitudes and we see Trump talk about the those seven boys that was in New York in that park, and he say those things about them, I don't understand how we got to that point, but there was a gamble, and that's how the system treats us to give us the options. So they've given us options, and we think that's all that we have, all these options, but we do have more options than that, just based off of our culture. If we really look at it more than entertainment or sad stories, if we look at the people who actually built this system, the scientists, the engineers, a lot of them are African people, a lot of them are very important to the movement, for simple things like street lights and mops and air condition and certain parts in vehicles. So if them people go good, go bad, it don't matter. We have to build like what we saw at Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have to build like, St. Kitts as a country was doing so well one year. They were able to send back checks to their government workers because they had a surplus in their economy. So there are peoples that are about their business, and we do have things like the sixth region coming together to vote, so that we can come together. And then Africa said once we get the sixth region together, we can talk to them about reparations. So I like forget about if we get something from Trump. Africa is saying, "Hey, we want to talk to you about reparations because we acknowledge what we did to sell people." The Akan from Ghana, they apologized about 3 years ago about their participation in slavery, and I had a ceremony with some African Americans and apologized on behalf of the Akan people who were slave traffickers in a certain time. So yes, what we are asking for is here. But can we realize it to even to just acknowledge it and say, in our verbiage, to stop asking questions of it and seek where we can put our part and do for ourselves, because many ones in many ways have been doing their part, over the years, um 20, 50, 60, 30, 25, many years. But everybody is the list. If you ask a question and you look online, answers will show up. You will see people that are doing projects, people that are working on getting things together, people that are offering help, people that are offering guidance. So are we going to keep asking that something should and would and could? Or are we saying where, how, what time, what place? Because the time is changing again. The introduction is over. Stage one is on. And they're talking about nuclear war and stuff that are going on with this whole money exchange that's happening. So will we realize that we are the world's children, or we belong to a certain colony?
Good point.
Well, we gotta decide how we're gonna move, because like I told people for years, last 30, 40 years, I've been telling people slavery was a strategic planning, and it takes strategic planning to overcome it, because it comes in many different forms. It's psychological, it's physiological, it's economics, it's educational, and most of all, it's economical. I'm in a program now with some brothers from Zambia, Botswana, Swaziland, and different countries, and we're working on controlling the minds of Africa, where is the basis of economics, where the Europeans come in and take over and cause havoc in the communities. I'm working on trying to get a provision where it's illegal for a child to work at the mines under the age of 21. Because they got children working in those mines, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. It's terrible. It's just, if you're a father or a grandfather, or you got some kind of humanity in your head, that's crazy. And so we have to work on controlling our economy, developing our own manufacturing, own business. Like the brother said, Oklahoma City, Black Wall Street. We gotta think in those terms and rebuild and re-own things that is controlling our people, which is economics. One of the main resources. If you can provide for a man, he will always be humble to you, and that's a part of just human nature, human experience. And like the Bible said, you give a man the fish. Every time you can give him the fish, he can eat. But you teach that man how to fish. Anytime he wants to eat, he can eat. We need to start teaching our people how to fish and how to be self-sufficient and independent, because Africa is too rich in resources. Caribbean is too rich in resources that people are not taking advantage of it. And a lot of reason they're not taking advantage of it because they don't control it. And so we have to get control of those things. We have to work together. Those brothers and sisters here in America, African Americans, multi-billion-dollar operations. I know a lot of these cats, and I got to get them to start thinking, working overseas, because everybody's going overseas now. Everybody's going to the Caribbean and Africa, because that's where you can make more money and more development.
Well, thank you so very much, Dr. Robinson. But there's one thing I can't help but say, that Elon Musk is a really true African American, because he was born in South Africa and now he's in America. So he is indeed an African American. And now we see ourselves moving quickly and fastly to the top of the hour. I really enjoyed the conversation today.
So we see Elon Musk and Trump and now the rest of MAGA doing their High Hitler salutes.
Yeah.
The German salutes for Nazism, their Nazi salutes on stage in American public, in an American forum, political forum.
Money talks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is the year of exposure
The
and
man
transparency.
y'all voted for.
Nothing is hidden anymore.
And there are people comfortable with that.
Yeah.
There are people comfortable.
Yeah, I
with
saw
that.
a lady on TikTok get up say she gonna do it every morning now. He's inspired her. She get up every morning now and do her High Hitler sign before she start her day.
Like Kanye said, it was a choice. It's always been a choice from day one. Some people from day one, they went that way day one. So it ain't nothing changed.
Chair, if I may, Chair, I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate. I don't vote. I didn't believe in Kamala or Trump, but you have to know what's going on the battlefield.
Yes.
If you're just making an emotional sessions as just being black, then you may miss what's actually going on. You're looking at an ancient war amongst themselves. Now, in the prophecies, if you deal with Bible, in the Joseph prophecy, it says what they seek to do for wrong to you becomes your blessings.
Your blessings.
And the reality what you're looking at is let's just go into the Civil War stage first for America. The Southern Confederates were comfortable in their bartering and trading and feeling like they had broke free from the imperial controls of Europe. The Northerners wanted to be in the international banking game and the export and imports, because they seen it as an opportunity. So in the construct of the Civil War, you had one that was willing to get back in bed with the international bankers and ones in groups that did not want to. They were So yeah, the Confederates were comfortable with bartering and trading and so-called the slavery. And then the Union, it wasn't that they were trying to break slavery, they were trying to get a unified currency so that they could play a role in the international game.
Amen.
So they started fighting amongst themselves. What you see is the Confederate, the good old boy, they lost. And the Northern big bankers were able to get us in back in bed, and this became a big banking corporate act. So the Southerners never were happy in that aspect, and they always felt like the Northern sold their country back to the imperialists. So now we're stuck in the middle because we were part of the collective booty between the both of
Yeah,
them.
we were assets.
That's all we were. So who managed the booty, that's how they managed it. And so one realized that the way one is managed is still bringing down their empire. And so they're fighting amongst themselves based on management. Now you have a statement called you'll bite off your nose, or
Fight the face.
bite off your face and spite, or you bite the hand that feeds you. So you have a statement Trump makes that tries to get the blacks to see that the Democratic program, which you call DEI and so forth, they're not coming. Yeah, they write them up as governmental programs, but the money is going to Jewish white women who are the top recipients of the DEI. It's going to everyone but us. That's why, and I'm in the film industry. And in the film industry, they've been yelling this for the last 3 years. There is no DEI. There has been no affirmative action. There is none of these programs have never benefited us. That's why we were still hollering. So what happens is other people from the LGBT all the way through, all of them have been benefiting from these programs. So you would hear Trump make statements to them because they were the ones going down hard on him. Like, he's the bad guy, but he's saying all of those things was an illusion. So their fight amongst themselves will force us to get out of illusions, because some people are still gun ho. Oh, I can't believe they took that away. Took what away? You never had it. It was just something on paper. And it's like only till that happens do we wake up and we yell, but we missing what's going on. Somebody's telling us that all of these things were illusions and other people were sucking money out of the system and it wasn't getting to you. See, that's the battle that's before you. But if we're just we don't Trump up this and that, that's the good old boy. We don't even know what they're fighting, and we don't know what they're exposing, because we're emotionally thinking black people victim. So we miss the business that's at hand. So what's happening is Trump announced that all of those programs were illusions and white people were getting them, and they're sitting here playing high society and talking about the blacks like they're in a position. And he said that. So now he came in office, and so those fundings, like Kamala said, you had people were going to prison and the system was paying for their sexual change. And they were under LGBT, and they were under all of these programs that would allow them to get these fundings. But the way it was all drafted up was under civil rights. So now they're able to access stuff that the blacks never were able to. So this is just a waste of money. So this is where you would hear Trump say, let's make America great. So in that essence, then our mind is thinking that's against us. They're arguing against themselves. We're just the booty in the middle till we learn to be in the equal playing field. So that's where we have to come to. There is only equality when it's government to government. If I go if I go to you as a subject, then
I'm so sad to break up this part.
yes, I give thanks.
Thank you, Brother Lazarus. Always give thanks.
Okay, Brother Ronnie, just let me remind everyone, it's a wonderful Sunday evening, and this is, in fact, as we wind up to the top of the hour, we have done our time, and we really want to thank all the guests for coming on. Want to thank my sister Rebecca to let her know I'm here with you in your quiet moment of grief. I did say, one of our really studio family had a death in a family. Rebecca Queen was able to live to 91 years old, and that is great. And she passed two days ago. So we just want to say we have our prayers and in our mind. I want to thank all the guests that came on to sup with us this evening. But we have reached the 9 o'clock hour. But please join us again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Same time, same link. This is Sadie Gomez of Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Women's Auxiliary. Want to say thank you, but I'll let anyone have the last word in. But at this point, we want to just say good night. Catch you again next Sunday.
The Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated's Repatriation and Reparations Commission would like to introduce to you our groundbreaking repatriation initiative, which encompasses over 1,300 acres of land in Bariwa, Ghana, aligned with the land gift to Black peoples of the world by Her Royal Highness King Kuro Beche Hanoi Banani II, President of the United Traditional Rulers Association and Vice President of Buwa, Sini, Traditional Council. Ghana has a population of 31 million people. The Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated embraces this land gift. As we prepare to extend our association across Africa, starting first, Ethiopia, Ghana, Liberia and many other countries in the United States of Africa. The vision. This visionary repatriation project integrates smart cities powered by extensive solar infrastructure and an expansive agricultural program with the Ghanaian community. It will leverage the diaspora's management and training expertise, remittances, social media, and global influence. The Ethiopian World Federation's Repatriation and Reparation Commission aims to establish a sustainable, self-reliant and integrated community that empowers Africa's youth, fosters economic stability and growth. All of this will benefit Federation members and the local Ghanaian community.
The Ethiopian World Federation, Incorporated's Repatriation and Reparation Commission would like to introduce to you the Ghana Land Project overview. Our goal is to acquire at least 1,300 acres of land. There will be one central community with 12 100-acre communities surrounding it. Each community local will be afforded the following amenities. 1. 10 acres of farmland, each local cultivating different products to trade with the surrounding communities. 2. Smart city development, 3 community hospital, 4 schools and educational complex, 5 industrial factory buildings for manufacturing. 6 housing and apartment complexes, 7 management administration security department, 8 business centers. 9 green spaces, 10 waste and recycling, 11 fueling station, 12 arts and entertainment.